reasons, they can have any seat left on a flight for free just by adding their name to a list via a website or app, then showing up to the airport on the day of its departure hoping for the best. A priority system is used to rank house hunting trips, for example, as more important than the travel of retired but still Space A eligible veterans, and any available seats are allocated based on this order. The system is regularly used for discretionary travel originating both from staff stationed abroad and vice versa. There are entire blogs and YouTube channels dedicated to advising eligible Space A travelers as to the best techniques and strategies for using the system for vacations. Military families regularly start their summer Europe trips by taking a Southwest flight to BWI, then hoping for the best while waiting to see if they cleared the list for the evening's flight to Ramstein Air Base. And once they successfully make it to the other side of the Atlantic, another surprisingly accommodating venture of the d.o.d. awaits them, the Ramstein Inn. Sitting directly opposite the airbase's polished glass passenger terminal, the towering hotel, operated by the d.o.d.'s Air Force Services Agency, offers hundreds of rooms at reasonable rates only to eligible current or former d.o.d. personnel and invited guests. It's part of a large global collection of hospitality sites offered by the United States Department of Defense. Each branch of the military operates a network of similar hotels on their bases, and some purely recreational sites even exist to offer personnel at home, but especially abroad, low-cost and American-styled rest and relaxation opportunities. Nestled in the outskirts of Naples, Italy, for example, a mere 30-minute drive from the 8,000 personnel-strong Naval Support Activity Complex,
this is
sits
badass.
a recreation wonderland nestled in the hollow of a dormant volcano. Upon driving through the narrow gates, the view opens up to an approximate recreation of a well-appointed American park, featuring an Olympic-sized swimming pool, a spattering of picnic pavilions, camping sites, and rental cabins, a collection of softball, baseball, football, soccer, basketball, volleyball, tennis, and paintball fields and courts, and a wooded 9-hole golf course with a pro shop and clubhouse.
Man, that shit's badass. And you can fly there for free if you're a fucking vet. Or in the army, you just gotta, take the chances on the seating. That's what started out this video, was the seating arrangements for military and d.o.d. people to be able to take advantage of all these wonderful places that I didn't know the d.o.d. operated. Interesting. Let's get back to it, not just my ugly mug.
Available exclusively to military-aligned Americans. But the Patriot Express is just one aspect of the massive, global U.S. defense transportation system. The DoD ties its assets and systems together with the United States Transport Command, headquartered at Scott Air Force Base in Illinois. Under its banner and co-located on the same base is Air Mobility Command, a major command of the U.S. Air Force. Now, Air Mobility Command does hold a massive fleet of hundreds of C-5, C-17, and C-130s, and while these aircraft and their crew regularly train, provide humanitarian assistance, and move some cargo through the U.S.'s global network of bases during peacetime, they primarily exist for the eventuality of battlefield use. They're not there to move regular pallets from Dover to Ramstein, they're there to move critical life-or-death supplies into a war zone. For the more day-to-day job of supplying the DoD's global footprint, the military mostly relies on commercial cargo airlines, some of which, such as Atlas Air, are the exact same as those operating Patriot Express flights. But to earn the right to this business, U.S.-flagged airlines sign up to participate in the Civil Reserve Air Fleet. Dozens of the country's largest airlines have committed 40% of their fleets to the program, meaning should the
Listen to this part.
need arise, these aircraft and 4 crews each would be fully dedicated to military service. While the bulk of the 450 aircraft would only ever be called up in a rare full-scale mobilization of the U.S. military, smaller capacity crunches have arisen throughout the years that have necessitated the use of the air fleet. The fleet was first activated to transport massive numbers of troops to and from theater during the opening of the Gulf and Iraq wars, and then was used for a third time to accommodate the massive numbers of refugees airlifted out of Kabul during the final days of America's withdrawal from Afghanistan. The very aircraft that carried the general public each and every day to, from, and within the U.S. were sent as far as Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar to transport evacuees to intermediary stops at American bases in Europe, and eventually the U.S., where other short-haul Civil Reserve Air Fleet aircraft shuttled them to their final destinations within the country. In exchange for prioritizing their fleet for whatever the DoD deems necessary, these same airlines get priority in receiving a portion of the hundreds of millions of dollars in annual DoD passenger and cargo transportation contracts.
And that's how the system works. You scratch my back, I scratch your back, and all of us military people and d.o.d. personnel get a hop a ride to pretty much anywhere this frickin' airline that only runs for the d.o.d. and hospitality centers and hotels that are run by the d.o.d. only for d.o.d. personnel and retirees such as myself. I never knew about this shit. This is cool, man. That's like almost damn near free vacation. Alright, you guys have a nice evening. Oh, by the way, this is Niels Han Dynasty. You guys have a nice evening.